Hello everybody! If you want to read all the stories in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. Short story 618, The T-Shirt Warning. Intermediate. On a hot sunny day in summer, Tom decided to wear his new T-shirt. It was red with big white letters on the front and back that said, "Don't even think about it." He thought it was funny and perfect for the warm weather. Tom lived in a small town, and he needed to buy some groceries, so he walked into the busy town centre in the afternoon. The streets were full of people shopping, eating ice cream and enjoying the sunshine. As Tom walked past a group of teenagers sitting on a bench, one of them noticed his T-shirt. "Hey mate, what shouldn't I think about?" the boy asked with a laugh. His friends giggled. Tom smiled and said, "Whatever you're thinking about right now." They all burst out laughing, and Tom kept walking, feeling amused. Next, he stopped at a café to get a cold drink. The waitress behind the counter read his T-shirt and raised her eyebrows. "Don't even think about it. Are you warning me not to give you extra sugar in your lemonade?" she joked. Tom chuckled and replied, "No, but now you mention it, maybe I should." She handed him his drink with a wink and said, "Well, I thought about it, but I won't do it." As he continued down the street, an old lady with a shopping bag stopped him. She squinted at the words on his chest. "Young man, what does that mean? Don't think about what? The weather? Or buying too many sweets?" Tom explained it was just a funny message, but she shook her head. "In my day, we didn't need T-shirts to tell people what to do. But it's a good reminder. Don't think about crossing the road without looking." She patted his arm and walked away. At the market, a vendor selling fruit saw the back of Tom's T-shirt as he picked some apples. "Don't even think about it," the man read out loud. "Thinking about what? Stealing my apples? Ha! You'd better not." Tom turned around and laughed. "No stealing here, I promise. How much for these?" The vendor grinned and gave him a discount. "For that T-shirt, I'll make it cheaper." It made my day. Then a couple walking hand in hand approached. The woman pointed at Tom's T-shirt. "That's brilliant. Is it about proposing marriage or something romantic?" Her boyfriend looked nervous and said, "Don't give her ideas." Tom shrugged. "It could mean anything. What do you think?" The woman smiled. "I think it's a challenge. Now I'm definitely thinking about it." By the end of the afternoon, Tom had heard all sorts of comments. Some people ignored it, but many stopped to chat or joke. He bought his groceries and headed home, tired but happy. As he sat in his garden with a cool breeze, he thought about the day. The T-shirt had turned a simple trip into an adventure full of laughs and conversations. "Maybe I'll wear it again tomorrow," he said to himself. But for now, he was glad to relax and not think about anything at all. Vocabulary notes. Amused. Adjective. Definition. Feeling entertained or finding something funny in a mild way. Example. Tom kept walking, feeling amused. This shows Tom found the teenager's reaction to his T-shirt funny and it made him smile. Context. Tom felt amused because the teenagers laughed and joked about his T-shirt, which created a light, happy moment. Similar words. Entertained, delighted, tickled, pleased. Example sentence. She was entertained by the funny video her friend sent her. Chuckled, verb, past tense. Definition. Laughed quietly or softly, often because something is mildly funny. Example. Tom chuckled and replied, "No, but now that you mention it, maybe I should." Tom laughed softly when the waitress made a joke about sugar in his lemonade. Context. The chuckle shows Tom's friendly and relaxed reaction to the waitress's humour. Similar words. Giggled, laughed, snickered, chortled. Example sentence. He giggled when his dog tried to chase its own tail. Squinted, verb, past tense. Definition. Looked at something with eyes partly closed, often because of bright light or to see better. Example. She squinted at the words on his chest. The old lady narrowed her eyes to read the T-shirt's message clearly. Context. The old lady squinted because she was trying to read the big letters on Tom's t-shirt, possibly due to age or bright sunlight. Similar words. Peered, stared, gazed, narrowed eyes. Example sentence. He peered at the small print on the label to check the ingredients. Vendor, noun. Definition. A person who sells goods, often at a market or stall. Example. At the market, a vendor selling fruit saw the back of Tom's t-shirt. The vendor is the person selling apples at the market stall. Context. The vendor's interaction with Tom was playful, as he joked about the t-shirt message while selling fruit. Similar words. Seller, merchant, trader, shopkeeper. Example sentence. The merchant at the market offered fresh vegetables at a low price. Brilliant adjective. Definition. Very impressive, clever, or excellent. Can also mean bright, but here it's about something great. Example. That's brilliant. Is it about proposing marriage or something romantic? The woman thought the t-shirt's message was clever and interesting. Context. The woman used brilliant to show excitement and admiration for the t-shirt's bold message. Similar words. Fantastic, great, wonderful, superb. Example sentence. The new café in town has a fantastic menu with lots of choices. Story written by Steve UK and Grok 3 AI. Image created by Grok 3 AI. To read all the stories in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. CC Music, drifting at 432 Hz, Unicorn Heads.
Today, we're diving into a fascinating story about how one simple t-shirt accidentally kicked off a pretty amazing social experiment. It's all about a warning that, well, instead of pushing people away, it actually brought a whole town together, all thanks to the power of interpretation. So, these are the words. Just 5 words on a t-shirt. It's a bold command, right? It could be a warning, maybe it's a joke, but what is it even about? See, that's the genius of it. The shirt doesn't give you an answer. It makes you come up with one. And that's where things get really interesting. And that's the big question for us today, isn't it? When you put a statement out there that's basically a blank canvas, what are people going to paint on it? Does it cause arguments, confusion, or does it lead to something else entirely? Well, let's find out. So let me introduce you to our main character, a guy named Tom. He throws on this red t-shirt thinking, it's just a bit of fun. He has absolutely no idea that this simple choice of clothing is about to become this incredible, unintentional experiment in human psychology. Picture this. It's a hot day. The town is bustling with people just going about their business. The setting couldn't be more normal, more everyday. And that's what makes it the perfect stage for the string of really remarkable interactions that are about to happen, all because of those 5 little words. So as Tom starts walking through town, his t-shirt kind of becomes a mirror. It's not really sending a message out so much as it's reflecting the inner worlds of every single person he meets, what they do for a living, their personalities, what's on their mind at that exact moment. Each encounter is like its own unique piece of data. So Tom's little trip is going to bring him face to face with a whole cross-section of his community. We've got teenagers, a waitress, an older woman, a vendor, and even a couple in love. And what's amazing is that every single one of them has a completely different take on what his shirt means. All right, so his first encounter is with a group of teenagers hanging out, and probably no surprise here, their interpretation is immediately filtered through this lens of playful, fun energy. They don't see a threat, they see a challenge. And just like that, the whole interaction is set. It's not a fight, it's an invitation to a shared joke. And Tom, he plays along perfectly, and they all have a good laugh. So right away, the shirt has created this little moment of connection, all through humor. So for them, the whole thing is a game. Their world is all about having fun, a bit of friendly banter, and that is exactly how they read the message. It's a perfect example of how your own context totally defines the content you see. Okay, so after that, Tom stops to get a cold drink, and the whole environment changes. He's not in a public park anymore. He's in a café, talking to someone who's in the middle of her shift. So how's she going to read the shirt? Her take is completely tied to what she's doing at that very second. She projects her job, her professional context, right onto his shirt. And she turns this ambiguous warning into a funny, personal little comment about the lemonade she's making for him. I mean, this is just a brilliant illustration of how our immediate situation shapes our perception of everything. For the waitress, it was the extra sugar. For the teenagers, it was some mischievous thought. The words on the shirt stay the same. The meaning? Well, that's always changing. Now check out this contrast. The next two encounters are fascinating. An older woman sees the shirt, and her mind immediately goes to safety, a sort of public service announcement, a serious practical reminder to be careful. But then you have the fruit vendor. His mind goes straight to his business, and he sees a hilarious, fake threat against someone stealing his apples. And Tom's last major interaction of the day is with a young couple. And believe me, their interpretation takes this shirt into a completely new and different territory, the world of romance and big life decisions. The woman is totally delighted by it. She immediately connects this vague phrase to this huge romantic idea of a marriage proposal. Her boyfriend, on the other hand, looks just a little bit nervous. And in a split second, that t-shirt has become the catalyst for this deeply personal and very funny moment between them. You know, the story uses a few really great words to paint a picture of these interactions. So let's just take a quick look at how these specific word choices help us feel the tone and the vibe of each moment. For example, the story says Tom chuckled when the waitress joked about the sugar. It's not some big, loud laugh. It's a quiet, friendly, soft laugh. And that one word choice tells us everything we need to know. The whole exchange was light, it was warm, it was good-natured. It's a tiny detail that sets a comfortable, friendly tone, not a tense one. In the same way, we're told the old lady squinted at his chest. Now, this isn't just about looking at something. It's an action that really suggests effort and careful thought. That one verb just perfectly helps you visualize her, maybe someone whose eyesight isn't quite what it used to be, carefully studying the message before she offers her very serious advice. It adds this wonderful layer of character to the whole scene.
And finally, the woman in the couple calls the shirt brilliant. She doesn't mean it's shiny, she means it's wonderfully clever. It's a word that instantly captures her enthusiastic, her imaginative interpretation of the message.
So at the end of the day, what does all of this really mean? Well, by the time he gets home, Tom realizes his t-shirt didn't really work as a statement at all. It didn't cause fights or divide people. It actually did the opposite. It became an invitation. And here's the key takeaway. The shirt worked because it was really a question in disguise. Its vagueness invited people to participate, to project their own lives, their jobs, their worries, their hopes right onto it. And it proves that really powerful communication isn't always about shouting answers, but sometimes it's about creating a space where other people can find their own. And that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. Tom's shirt said, "Don't even think about it," and it ended up sparking creativity and laughter and all these human connections. It really makes you wonder, if your t-shirt could start a conversation with the world, what would you want it to say?